Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. It's an exciting day. It's another unboxing of a Banaus smartwatch. I love you not because of who you are, but because of who I am when I am with you, they put on all of their boxes. Today we are going to reveal a different kind of watch, one that we haven't covered much here at Smartwatch Ticks because we've been all about these high-end, fancy Android standalone, do everything, you name it watches. Well, what about those folks that don't need a SIM card, don't want to actually take their watch out by itself, but are just perfectly happy doing the tethering thing? Well, we're looking at a really nice tethering watch here. This is the Banaus B3. And it touts itself as being a sport fashion smartwatch, and I gotta hand it to them. It does look that way. As we open it up in the box and take a look, we've got what looks like, wow, a nice light-colored leather band clipped on to, in this case, a silver, comes in black and gold as well, smartwatch. It's got nice edges and features to it. On the back, we have a charging area, and it looks like a heart rate monitor. Screws that hold it in place. The bands are really pliable. It'll lay flat. That's nice. Looks pretty good. Single knob on the side. It turns and it pushes. All right, we'll turn it on in a moment, but let's take a look at what else is in the box. We have, let's start on this side. It looks like we've got a cable, of course, the charger unit. And it uses what looks like a magnetic coupling head, as is common these days on watches that are attempting to be somewhat waterproof anyway. So instead of a USB port, it's got this little magnetic charging dock, which we should just line up and boom, hooks right on. Good and solid. Relatively inexpensive compared to some of the higher end ones where the little thing will fall right off. This has got enough of a magnet that it'll hold, and not too much of a magnet that it's going to erase your credit cards if you get it too close to them. USB port on the other side for connection and data transfer. All right, that's in the box. And what else? The user's manual. All right. The user's manual is smartwatch manual. Let's take a look. You got the barcode, which you scan to be able to download the software that lets you connect this tethering-wise to your phone. More information. Looks like it has voice recognition. Oh, that's paragraph E. WeChat. Okay. Some Q&A. And what about the backside? Looks like it's the same basic thing, doesn't it? Maybe they just printed it on both sides in English instead of one in Chinese. All right. Well, that's basically the unboxing of the Banaus B3 smartwatch. Let's turn it on and see what it does. Press and hold. And up we go. Nice little display. There's no sound coming out of it, but I got to let you know why. I was messing around with it last night, and I turned all the audio off so I wouldn't disturb anybody. That way I could learn about it. It normally has a little tone when it boots up, and we will be playing with the volume after a while. You saw it said connecting. I also have Bluetooth connected it already to a smartwatch, a smartphone, using the app that you would scan called the Phonebook app. And you download that app either directly from the Google Play Store or using scanning of the barcode that you saw. Let's run through it first. Let's see what we got on board. We've got watch faces. Now, what really is nice about this watch is it's very easy to use. If you're in a household of relatively non-techie folks and you want to give them a present, a smartwatch they can use pretty easily without getting bogged down, this is probably the one. The reason I say that is, some of them you got to scroll up and then over 3 times and then press twice and click your heels to just go somewhere. This one's much easier. If you scroll down, you get into your apps. Scroll to the left, you're back to the screen. All right, scroll up, you get to the same place. Scroll, you're back. Scroll to the right, you're in the same place. You can't go wrong. Somebody doesn't get confused by saying, okay, notifications is to the left and heart rate is to the right. No, all 4 directions take you to all of the app displays. And one swipe back takes you back to your basic watch screen. Okay, so it's easy to navigate. As in most watches, press and hold, and you can see the different screens that are installed, the different watch faces. You don't tap on them, you have to hit the OK to bring them up. Here's one. We'll just run through these quickly because there's, I think, a grand total of about 5 of them. Here's another one. Looks like it shows a power meter on it and the date and time. I presume that's 100%. It is fully charged. Here's another one. It's easier to swipe than to press that button. This one is kind of strange. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be doing. It doesn't look like it's rendering properly. It's supposed to have hands, but it looks like they fell off, doesn't it? I can't tell the time on this one. Not sure. That one might need a little bit of work. And then we're back to the main one. So you have that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. So those are the watch faces. Pick a direction. Down. All right. Here are all of your installed apps that you can play with. We've got 4 per page. We've got this page. That's first page, second, third, fourth, fifth, and 6th. And we're back again. So I'm going to go over here to settings. We're going to wander through this because this is a good place to begin. Your Bluetooth for turning the power on and making it visible so that you can link your watch to your phone, because that's primarily what this watch does. Other than simple things like calendar and calculator and telling time, you're going to want to tether this watch to your phone. It's not a standalone. It does not have its own SIM card. But it does time out on me if I keep talking, so I'm going to keep going. Alarm is where you can add alarms. You also have an app for that. Sound recorder. Disconnect Bluetooth music. So it was already connected to stream Bluetooth music there. I disconnected the Bluetooth, and now I'm testing by making a small recording so we can see how well it sounds. And it's just been saved. And playback. And now I'm testing by making a small recording so we can see how well it sounds. Surprisingly good speaker. I'm going to turn it over and play it again. And now I'm testing by making a small recording so we can see how well it sounds. It actually has richness to it. A lot of times there's no bass. These things sound kind of tinny. But you have a sound recorder on board. We have a calculator. Simple, basic calculator. The clock is where we would go in and change the clock type, which we did by pressing and moving, but you can do it there too. You can synchronize your time, and it will do all of that stuff. You can change the time format and manually do it if you turn the sync off. When you turn it off, you get access to changing the date and time format. If you want to switch between 12-hour and 24-hour, you have to do this with the clock time sync turned off. Then when you turn it back on, it will stay in either the 12-hour or the 24-hour mode, but you can't change it unless you turn the sync off first. Little trick I found out, all right? Clock sound. This is for ringtones, which I can't demonstrate to you until I go into volume, where I had turned all the volumes down. Let's turn them up, maybe not full blast. Ringtone. And notifications. Okay, now we can go back in here to sound, and you have alert types of just ring, vibrate only, vibrate and ring, or vibrate then ring. So if you're in a meeting and you have it in vibrate mode and you don't feel it, it'll start ringing and you'll still get your call. You won't miss your call that way. There I go talking again. Okay, we were in volume, weren't we? This is good. It keeps me moving. No, we did volume. We went back to sound. So we were showing that you have different ringtones. Let's start with ring 1. Like your old style telephone. Ring 2. Ring 3. Pretty nice. And 4. So I'm going to leave it on that one. That's ringtone. Then we have notification tones. Simple beep. A lot of these you hear on other devices. That's pretty soft. Kind of a chime thing. I'll go with tone 3. Oh, there was a 5. Let's try 5. Oh, that's real high pitched. Hear that? Hope it's picking up like a bicycle bell. Okay, and that's it on here. So we've covered volume, sound, and now we look at the display. We have different wallpaper themes. Black is what we're on right now. We go to this theme and you can see we have kind of bubbles in the background. Dark with bubbles. Not actually one of my favorites. Let's see, display theme 3 is your blue kind of a background. So if you're happy with having your icons against blue, that works well. All right. I think most people stick with black because it gives you good high contrast when you're outdoors. Display theme 1. Now, we have 4 apps on the display, but you can actually change this to 3 apps, and then it looks like this. You have 3 apps beside each other, and you have a display of dots on the side, which is what you use as a guide to show you where you are. If you find that easier to use in a kind of a linear scrolling display, then go with that. Otherwise, stick with the 4. Now, we are finished with display, I think. We have our brightness levels, which I have really low, and your screen timeout. I'm going to change the brightness just a little bit. Wow. See, on the camera, if it's too bright, you're not going to be able to read everything, like the word OK is gone. So I'm going to leave it on 1. That seems to work best for here. But I am going to change the screen timeout to 60 seconds, so it's not going to be timing out on us all the time. International, if it's synced, it's going to automatically sync to your language, and you can change your name display, I presume, for contacts to last name first or first name last. We are choosing English, but we have all these other languages available. Not a huge library of languages on this watch. Okay, but somewhat decent. If your language is not there, it's probably not supported. And auto sync I'm going to turn on because it will lock the language to the language of the phone. Okay. Apps, reset and about. We're not going to reset the watch, of course. About gives us information about the watch, its address and Bluetooth and all those good things. What version it is, and it was released May 18th, 2016 for the firmware. So it's a brand new watch on the market, really. Oh yeah, I'm going to go to this way, and then apps. Apps, when you are connected to the phone through the tethering software, Phonebook, you have ability to download additional apps like a weather app and some other things. Since this is an unboxing and first look, we haven't done any of that stuff. In fact, we've done more than I usually do by already getting it set up and tethered and on Wi-Fi or on the network. It's not on Wi-Fi. No Wi-Fi. Don't confuse that. It does not have Wi-Fi. It has Bluetooth, okay? And it's Bluetooth tethered to a real phone. And that is how you get synchronization and all the other stuff. But this watch does not have Wi-Fi on it. And that's the apps, which later we will look at that. If we do a deeper look at this particular watch, we'll run you through some of those apps. So let's go back to the top dot right there and take a look. When you go into Phonebook, you can sync the Phonebook. Calendar is a basic calendar that just shows you the day of the week. You can't really change it. It's today. You can't add appointments. It's just for display purposes. Dialer is what's going to allow you to place calls by just simply dialing a number. And we've got remote notifier that you can set up, synchronize the two devices. You have your find your device, which when you get out of range from one to the other, again, the brightness is so bright that we don't really see the word start down there, but it's there. So, if you leave your phone behind and get out of Bluetooth range, it'll beep for you. Messaging is currently not supported because I haven't set it up. Your heart rate monitor, which is on the back, I start it. It turns bright green. Let's see if I can get it off on my finger. It's doing its measurements. Now, the nice thing about the software interface, the Phonebook, wow, that's pretty high. The Phonebook software will synchronize back to the cloud. So you actually set up an account and synchronize over time your pedometer readings and your heart rate information. And so if you switch watches, as long as the watch uses the same software, you can just, without skipping a beat, pun intended, you can keep your heart rate records going. Call logs of all my different phone calls, which you don't need to see, but that's what we'd get if we go there. Bluetooth music. This is where, again, I was synced, but I disabled that earlier, but this is where you would tie in and be able to play the music that's on your phone through your watch. And you heard that speaker. It was a pretty nice sounding speaker. Connecting. Okay, we got remote device. I don't have anything loaded, so I really don't have any music to play. We have the Bluetooth connection. We've been in that. I'm connected to my G3 phone. Sleep monitor, which will tell you how well your sleep is. So you turn this thing on, wear your watch to bed, and get the information on how good a night's sleep you've got. Remote capture. Android or iOS would let me activate the camera on my phone, right? And see the picture and take pictures just by touching the watch. So nice to be doing a selfie where you don't want to have to be messing with turning the camera around, stuff like that. We're all familiar with that remote camera capability. Sedentary Reminder. Very similar to all the other different watches where you can set the time to be notified. High voice, that's the voice recorder, which we got to already from settings. Oh no, this is something else. This allows me to use the Google Now voice or the Siri interface if I'm on iOS or Android. Again, when we're all linked up, we can try that out. And there's our pedometer where we can start. Of course, you can set all the information that you want in the watch, your specific dimensions and weight, all that good stuff. Stop. Yeah, it's not counting on that one. But here's your history, your goals, your height, your weight. You can set all of that, and you can maintain it in the app as well. What else? Quick response, that's the barcode that you need to download the Phonebook Wear, but you can just search for it in the Google Play Store. The settings we went into. Motion, these are the different things. You can have it flip to mute an incoming call if you want. Flip to mute an alarm. The wake up gesture, which we will turn on. That's where you just turn your wrist and it will show you the time. Shaking switch main menu, and shake to answer a call. So all those kind of motion sensor capabilities are built into this tiny little tethering watch. Pretty nice, huh? We'll play with that motion later. And then profiles and main menu style. Alert type for ring only, or all of the other stuff we had, the vibration or vibrating ring, the ringtone, the notification tones. That's basically your sound in the profiles. And the main menu style is whether you want 3 apps or 4 apps to display on the screen. Pretty much covered all of it. If I have it on my wrist, which I should do, show you what it looks like on the wrist, huh? Okay, why not? There you go. Nice looking little watch. This is a full tethering watch now, okay? There is no standalone SIM card in here, but it does do all the things that you want in a tethering watch, which includes placing and receiving phone calls directly to the watch so that you can speak to it and hear from it, receiving notifications on the watch, all of those kind of things that you look for in tethering watch. Once again, it's the Banaus, B-A-N-A-U-S, B3, which is a IP53 waterproof sport fashion watch with heart rate monitor and Bluetooth. List of the specifications while I pull up this sheet to show you what an IP53 means, all right? This is the overall thing. The first digit is about solids, the second about liquids. A 5 means that it's dust protected. It will keep dust out, basically, okay? But it's not a 6, meaning it's dust tight. So it still could be susceptible to dust infusion in high dusty environments. The second digit is the liquids, and this is where it gets really interesting. When you're looking at an IP53, it means it will withstand spraying water falling at a spray at any angle up to 60 degrees from vertical shall have no harmful effects. Can you run it underwater washing your hands? Can you shower with it? Borderline, because you see from spraying water you go to splashing water from any direction, and then water jets, water projected by a nozzle. I wouldn't risk it. I would just be careful with it and not try to get too much water on it, but it might be okay to get a little bit. Body sweat should be fine, all that stuff. But it's by no means submersible at an IP67 or 68 you usually hear for true waterproof watches. So be careful with the watch. If you're going to use it in water, it's truly not water resistant. It's slightly waterproof. All right. Thanks for watching. That's the Banaus B3. Oh, and one last thing. Yes, you can. Pocket watch.